today we're going to talk about Capcom and how they're being stupid because the new Resident Evil game, Resident Evil 6, came out last year, and it was this big thing. It turns out the game pretty much sucked because they made it more action, kind of like the fifth one. They took all the horror out of it and just made it like an action-packed thing. Now there is some moments out there when it's scary, but it's barely scary at all. See, I think they should take Capcom should take the Resident Evil series back to like the first Resident Evil. That one is the survival horror that we know about Resident Evil. Resident Evil is one of the games that started the survival horror franchise, and now they're screwing it up by making it just like a big action-packed game, and no one knows why. It's bad enough Capcom is starting to get stupid because they do a whole bunch of stupid crap now. And it's so stupid that they would take one of the best survival horror games in the world and turn it into an action-packed game. See, I'm a big survival horror fan and a Resident Evil fan, but they're just screwing up one of my favorite series, Capcom is, and it's just, they're freaking retards is what they are. Because see, Resident Evil 5, it had action moments in it, but it still had that horror vibe. This one, no, it's just full on action packed. And thing about it, it's freaking long. It's got like, let's see, like 4 campaigns. It's got Chris, Leon, Jake, and then Ada Wong, which I have no clue why it has so many campaigns. It's ridiculous. Thing about it, they're all tied together. So when you get to the moments like where they're coming together that you already seen in all the other campaigns, it gets so freaking boring. And now, see, the characters, they're pretty much the same. The last really good Resident Evil game was Resident Evil 4, because it still had like that horror vibe. It had action in it, but it still gave that horror vibe. And now Resident Evil 5, it was a good game. It just wasn't. It wasn't all the horror. That's when they started bringing like the action into it. But Resident Evil 6 is just so ridiculous. They're taking one of the best horror games and just making it into an action-packed game. That should not happen. See, maybe they could easily just combine the action and horror together, but they didn't want to do that. They wanted it to be apparently full on action, and the creatures aren't even scary like the first one. Like, it doesn't even have like zombies in it. It's just pretty much like people with like masks. It's like creatures, like when they brought them into the fourth one and the fifth one. They started bringing the creatures into when the fourth one hit the stories. And see, that was still good because it still had the horror vibe, but this one's just full on action. It makes no sense at all how they would take one of my favorite games of all times and a bunch of other Resident Evil fans and just screw up the whole franchise. And I mean, Capcom's just being really stupid right now, and I'm a big Capcom fan too, so and they're being stupid. And see, when Resident Evil was coming out, I was really looking forward to it. I couldn't wait to buy it because Resident Evil was my favorite survival horror series, and it was just stupid. I mean, there is some good stuff about it, like the guns are nice, the graphics are pretty good, but I mean, it's too long. I don't know why they have 4 campaigns, especially when they all combined, and it just bored you out. And like, I mean, you can't just take the whole horror aspect and make it into an action game. So that will be it for this video.